The growing controversy with arc raiders currently is that people shoot each other, which, might surprise you, is controversial, but the main goal of arc raiders is taking down all these different bots, right? Like you have the basic flying drones, then you have the bigger drones, and you have the bigger robots that are really hard to deal with. And if you want to progress in game, and if you want to, craft all the end game weapons, you will need to kill those things. And so, um, you will eventually, in this game, everybody will eventually end up trying to hunt down, the queen or matriarch or whatever new bigger arc will be released. And the issue that people have right now, people are complaining a lot about, is that a lot of streamers, and I think that is the biggest problem actually in this entire game, is the content creators. I think that a lot of these people make their gameplay all about that, and it comes from two different places, I think. First of all, most people that play extraction shooters play, the kind of games like, let's say, like Tarkov or Arena Breakout Infinite, right? And these games are staple of PvP, right? You have NPCs there, but it's just to confuse the player, right? But the main goal in these games is to kill people, loot these people, and the loot, right? And all these things, the realism of it. Well, Ark is different in this. Ark is very different in this. In fact, the main goal of this game is to make sure you understand how PvE works. So, these players, these people who come from PvP games, take this game as a PvP game, which is totally fine. You can play the game whenever or however you want to. And I don't have an issue with that. But the community kind of does. And so, basically, my idea here is to show you something that people don't accept, don't talk about it, and most people will just tell you that it's bullshit and it's not how it works. Maybe Embark will come out and say that I'm wrong about this. If they will, then I'm wrong about this, but I'm not. I can tell you right now, I have 130 hours in this game, and I'm not wrong about this. I can tell you that. So, what is happening? What's the main issue here? Well, the thing is, before the game was released, there were two different playtests and server slam, which was like 2 weeks before the release. And the server slam was just about testing the servers before the game comes out, so the servers don't shut down immediately. But the previous two tests, they were closed betas basically. These tests, did a lot of different testing, obviously. And one of the main questions people had just before release of the game was that how does Embark plan on doing matchmaking? And the reason people were asking this question was because I was part of the server slam test. I didn't do the closed beta tests, but I did the last one. And people who played the closed beta tests were kind of second guessing how matchmaking works, because a lot of extraction shooters or a lot of other games in general work in different merits when it comes to matchmaking, but it's usually based on criteria that people don't like. And one of the main concerns about Ark was that you will be matched with people with similar gear. So basically, if you decided that you will craft good shield, good weapon, go all out, and not necessarily even for PvP, like I said. Like, people do craft PvE weapons, like a Hullcracker, just to defeat the big arc, right? And so, if you go out to a raid with a purple weapon, good shield, all these things, good healing items, right? All these things. Will you be matched against people who have the same type of gear or not? Because, the biggest issue with this is obviously if that's the case, nobody will go out with good gear, because the only reason you are taking out good gear is to gain advantage. And if it's against Ark or against players, it's always about the advantage of it. And so, you know, that was a question, and I think Embark actually answered this. And the answer was that they were, you know, playing around with the idea, but ultimately they didn't answer the question if it was actually gear-based matchmaking or not. Everybody assumed that it's not, but, you know, until the release of the game, nobody knew. Well, now I know, and I think most people who were paying attention know as well, but maybe not. So basically, there's the PvE aspect of the game, which is the main, you know, focus, I would say, should be the main focus. And there's the PvP. The PvP works in Ark basically for two main reasons. There's PvP in this game is just for two reasons. One, because if you have only Ark to, you know, worry about, let's say there are other players but you can't shoot them. If there were only Ark to worry about, the game would get stale, boring really quickly. And, you know, nobody wants that. And second reason is that the fact that you can defeat people, you can actually defend yourself, right, against people who try to make or take advantage of you focusing on something else. It's just extraction shooters work this way always were. Like, that's what this is all about, right? You go into a raid and you take chances with people. Ark is very famous right now for solo players, you know, banding together, not killing each other, helping each other, and there's a good amount of that. I've had it in so many games or so many raids that I've played so far. The thing is, you go on sites like Reddit, you go to subreddits about Ark raiders, and there's a lot of people constantly complaining about people wrathing, right? People PvPing, KOSing, which is kill on sight, right? Like, I've had it too, I've seen it a lot too. And here's the takeaway. Here's the way matchmaking works in Ark Raiders. If you go out to any map and your matchmaking history, or not matchmaking history, but just like raid history, right? If your raid history is that you deployed in the map, started shooting at people, the game tracks everything. The game definitely tracks if you shoot first, the game definitely tracks if you knock out people, the game definitely tracks if you loot people. All of these things and this information is not something you can hide from Embark. They all know this. And the game tracks this. And if it's enough times, if it's 10 times, 20 times, the game will automatically put you in this bucket of other people that also behave like you do. So, here's the thing. There's free kits in the game. The free kits are for people who want to basically just have, you know, carefree PvP experience. Maybe not PvP. Maybe some people don't use it for players. But I think that like 99% of people use free kits just to kill other people. That's fair. That's totally fine. The thing is, if you do this enough times, you will automatically get into the bucket, into the bracket of people who do this. And it's really hard to get out of that. You know, you will spend a lot of matches in the future, 20, 50 matches in the future, running into people who constantly will just KOS you. And, you know, that's how it works. That's the game. I think it's a great system, because it rewards people who don't want to play like this, and it also punishes people who think that they can, you know, 50 games in a row just steal other people's shit and be just overall nuisance to everybody else on the server, and then go into one raid and decide, well, now I will kill Ark, now I will be nice. You will get paired with people who will do the same thing you were doing 50 times before. And I have, you know, all the proof I need. I can spend the next week, you know, compiling videos of me going constantly into PvPs and then going, you know, naked or something, and try to be friendly, because I had done that before. And you will see for yourself that people will ruthlessly just start KOS. Like, no proximity chat, nothing. They will just gun you down. And it's because the game has your match history. The game knows what you did 50 times before, and the game automatically assigns you to other people who do the same thing. And so when people start having the idea that this game is being, asshole, this game just being ruthless to you, you want to be friendly, but you end up, running away from people, you're delusional. It's your fault. It's not the people. You have put yourself in here. I don't know what you did before. Maybe you did the same thing I did. Maybe you did like 25 free kit runs just to train PvP, right? Like, that's good. Like, you should do that. You should train this. But then you have to count on it that next time you deploy and you decided in your mind that you will be nice to people. The game doesn't know that, and the game will give you people who are in the same mindset you were an hour ago. And so, if you want the game to be behaving nicer, if you want to, have all these experiences you are seeing online of people communicating with each other and like being nice and friendly, you can take down together a queen if you want as a solo player. I have done this like 10 times already, because it's so easy when you are not being an asshole to everybody. People will be actually nice too. If you want that, you have to start like, do like a lot, like 10, 20 games, 10, 20 raids in a row, just naked, just greeting people. They will shoot you a lot at the start, but the game will start recognizing you are ending your raids early and you are getting nothing out of the raid because you run into people who shot you, who KOS you. And eventually the game will start giving you a different bracket of people, but it will take time because you're, for the lack of better terminology, your MMR is just screwed. You have done that to yourself, but that's how it is. And so yeah, like, Arc Raiders in general is a really nice game with very nice people. You just don't have access to them because you are under the delusion that the game just contains a lot of traitors and like a lot of people who just pretend to be nice. Well, I mean, look inwards, because the game definitely knows what you did before, and it only treats you the way you treat everybody else around you. So that's a little bit of a lesson about matchmaking, and I hope it was helpful.